Hello, N3YUG, Jason here. Wanted to do a beginner's tutorial for the VOACAP online for ham radio software. VOACAP stands for Voice of America Coverage Analysis Program, and VOACAP is a professional HF propagation prediction software. I found out that it was originally designed for Voice of America. There are two versions of VOACAP. One is a complete text-based application of the software, which is downloaded free online. The second is an online graphic-based version. This uses a powerful text-based software but turns it into an easy-to-use, more graphic-based application. So, to take a look at this second version, let's go to voacap.com/hf. That's voacap.com/hf. So once we get there, this is what we see. We have a world map, some things on the top and the bottom of the map, and a few things down each side. I'm going to try to break this down into sections to make it a little bit easier to understand. I won't hit on everything, but I'll try to cover what's the most useful. And by no means am I an expert on this software. So let's start out with this top section. In this top area, we have more about your transmit location and your receive location. Transmit location, you have a pull down box here, and inside of that you can see many countries, different DX entities around the world that you can select. You have grid square, you have latitude, and we have longitude. Next we have the receive QTH location. We have the same information here as we had above. We have the pull down with DX entities, our grid square block, our latitude, and our longitude. And those correspond to these pins, blue being your receive QTH and red being your transmit QTH. And if we go to the red transmit location, zoom in, you can see it's in Maryland where I'm located, and our blue tab here is over around the Middle East. At the top of that we have the red and blue circles. Red, first circle is sunrise, second circle is sunset, and then you have midnight. Same on the receive site, sunrise, sunset for them, and middle of the night. And the next thing we have is the slider for the time of the day. You can use this to move the gray line or the nighttime area around the map. You can set this for your local time, and you can see when you're on the edge of a gray line or what part of the day you're in. Alright, over here on the left hand side we have some buttons. We'll go over those. We have the plus to zoom in, minus to zoom out obviously. We have a full page toggle that you can toggle that to fill the entire browser window. Next is the QSO window markers. We're going to go ahead and skip that. Then we have the save current transmit and receive settings, remove the current transmit and receive settings, short path, long path toggle, and we also have a e-skip or no e-skip button. And on the main map we have the short path and long path lines. The green line represents the short path, shortest distance between the two stations, while the red dotted line represents the long path between those two stations. At the bottom of the map we have the transmit latitude and longitude site, the receive site latitude and longitude, the short path distance and beam heading. Also have the long path distance and beam heading. Alright, the next thing we have is over on the right hand side we have some buttons. It starts out with our mode. We have single sideband FT8 CW AM. Next is the power setting from 0.1 watts all the way up to 20,000 watts. We have antennas, settings, prop chart, and prop wheel. And don't forget to set the mode and the power settings to what your station or what you're planning on running is going to be, because that will affect the propagation charts and the propagation wheel and some of the maps later on. So always check those to make sure they're set up appropriately. Next is the antenna tab. If you click the antenna button, you'll get a pop out over on the left hand side. We have the transmitter site settings that correspond to the red flag. You have all the bands 80 through 10 and also antennas that you can set. The drop-down menu has a variety of antennas from vertical over good ground, dipoles at different heights, as well as different element Yagis from 2 to 8 elements, a 20-meter hex beam, and a few other things in there. So you can go through and set each band for each antenna. You also have the receive site corresponding to the blue flag. And you can do the same thing here. You can set up whatever antennas you think that station may have. And as a worst case scenario, you could just put in dipoles at 33 feet. Next thing is you make sure you save the current transmit and receive settings for future use. This saves it into your browser, so each time you open this program to use it, you won't have to go through and reset things. So that's a nice convenient option. If we go to the next button down, we see the settings. That pulls out on the left hand side again. This, we won't get too in depth into this. This one section with band, UTC, and range, you can see you can change the band. You can change the time of the day from 0 to 23 UTC, and a range in hours. We won't get into that too much until a little bit later. It does come in handy on some other maps. Alright, next is the prop chart and prop wheel. I think prop wheel is a lot more usable than prop charts. Prop charts can get a little bit confusing. So let's move the map over here. We'll bring out the prop wheel, and you can see our transmit and receive pins are set. And this has given us a graphic readout in percentage chances on making the contact between those two stations. We can see there's a higher chance here in 20 meters between 18 and 2300, and on 30 meters around 01 to 02. We can drag this down into Africa. We can see the prop wheel changes up into England, over into the US. We can see it increases our chances all the way up to 100% on bands. Alaska, South America, and you can see it reads the entire day and all the bands. We can even move it over into Australia. We can see our short path, the green line to Australia, and it gives us our chances. Our highest chance would be about a 30 to 40% at 2200 UTC. And the chances here on the prop wheel are shown over time, and they can change according to your power settings. If we move that up to legal limit, we see that they increased from that light blue 10% up to 40% or so. If we change to CW, we see they increase again. We have 70–80% windows. And if we switch over to FT8, we can see those chances will go up a little bit again. We'll turn this back down to 100 watts and single sideband, which is about where most stations are running unless they're running FT8. So around the prop wheel over on the left side, we have the time from 0 to 2400 UTC, 10 meters through 80 meters. That would be 2200 on 17 meters. And we can see that in this center circle when we hover over those blocks. It even gives a percentage chance. So now we'll go back and look at the prop charts. Let me move the receive site to someplace where we get a little bit nicer chart. So on the chart, we have our bands, our percentage chances, and our time UTC. Each band is color coded in a different color, and that's kind of what makes this chart hard to read. If you hover over it at different times of the day, it does give you the band and the percent chances, so that does make it easier to read as you scroll across the day. I just find that the prop wheel is a lot easier for me to read. Others may have a different opinion, but for me it's easier that way. Alright, the last section is down here at the bottom, the green buttons. There's a lot of different functions and maps and charts that these bring up. You can see the band by band is the first one. You have the string chart, just like we had on the prop charts. And also we got a graph showing the propagation short path and long path. The next tab we'll look at is signal PD, probability distribution. We have our dB units at the side that correspond to S units, -93 being S9 plus 10. We have our time of the day at the top. And then we have our probabilities of having that strong of a signal throughout the different times of the day to that location. So here we see -109, which is S8, and we can see 75% chance at 02, going up through the 90% chances later on. The next tab we'll take a look at real quick is season. You can see different times of the year by month and time of the day when propagation has a good chance of being into that area that you have set up on your map between your transmit and your receive site. Let's move this receive site over to Hawaii and see what the difference is in the season. There, change time of the day and a little bit less chances. And we'll go to the point-to-point gray line. And this will show you the sunrise and sunset times for your transmit station and your receive station for the next 2 months. And we'll check out the REL map, or reliability map. You can see at the top we have the date, UTC, frequency, 80 watts, single sideband. And these are the predictions on percent chances of getting into these areas 15 out of the 30 days each year. The brighter the color towards red, of course, the more chance you have of making that contact. So if you want to make adjustments to the band, the power settings and things like that, you can go under the settings tab. Back to this area we talked about briefly earlier. You can change the band here, and that affects these maps. Also, the UTC time in here is set up. We can set that to 2200, and you can set a range, so it'll show you a map for each hour forward from that UTC time. So we'll close that, and we'll go back here to the REL map, and now you can see there's multiple maps showing up. As we zoom in, you can notice the red 100% chance and orange 80 to 90% is pretty high for the East Coast, and that's on 80 watts. We can see it shifts a little bit the next hour at 2300 UTC. At 0, we notice it starts shifting into the dark area of the world, and it'll change as the nighttime comes in. It gets less, so you can kind of see over a 6-hour period what the changes are by looking at those type of maps on a extended time. So next, let's go and let's change the time of the day. Again, we're on 40 meters, the same as last time. We'll change it to earlier in the day. We'll leave that at 8-hour increments, so we see over 8 maps what the changes will be to the band conditions and where we think we can reliably get into. First map, we see it's East Coast. It doesn't change a whole lot that time of the day, but we do start seeing some increase as we get closer to evening, and that spread out further out into the ocean, unfortunately, but it also spreads out to the West Coast. And here you can see again on the right hand side your percent chances, and again that's at least half the days out of a month that they hope to have that percentage of a chance. All right, the next one we'll take a look at is the SDBW map. So it's signal strength in dB, and we have multiple maps. Let's go ahead and zoom into the first one here. You got the color codes, but this time the color codes correspond to dB levels, and these dB levels also correspond to S units, and we can see the rings of the different dB levels on what kind of signal strength you would be getting into those areas. So like a -130 is about an S3 to S4 signal level. There is a conversion that you can do for that. But as you scroll through the maps, you can see it gets heavier and spreads out further, just like the other reliability map did. But this is going to show you the signal levels to be expected into those areas. So with the orange in there, we're up at -90 dB, which is about an S9 to S9 plus 10 signal. All right, that's a brief rundown of the VOACAP online ham radio tool. If you need more help, there is a user's manual at the bottom of the page. I hope this makes things a little bit easier for people trying out the software and encourages others to try it out as well. The page is a great tool and can be very educational in learning about propagation. It can answer those questions of what time of day can I work a certain region of the world, or why can't I hear anyone from a certain area of the country or the world. So with that, this is N3YUG 73 all.